Repetition reinforces retention. That was something that's been taught to me through school, and gosh, it's true. Here today, we're going to just be talking about the same things I've been talking about, and there's a few distinctions that I feel like need to be made so clearly. And that is all of the resources I've talked to you guys about that I use in order to gather these concepts and get to this understanding. First off, understand that there's a reason that I spent the time doing this. There's a reason that this information became so important to me, resonated so deeply within it, is because I have been in all of the places that I'm talking to you about. I have been in the lowest moments of my life with seemingly no clear way forward or belief. I didn't know what to do. And then as miracles happen, information would pop up and it would just hit so hard, and it provided me an outlet for actually taking accountability for what is my role in my life, what has been the patterns of my awareness, what has my life shaped up to be. Anyways, there is a common denominator of everything. People are saying it in their own ways, which is exactly what I'm here to do. But there is a common denominator. And for those of you who are curious, don't fully understand like what we are, who we are, like we're a soul being, right? So one thing that's a common denominator in all of these teachings, no matter where I have come across it, it's always talking about source energy, universal energy, God, a higher self, a higher being. So, if you struggle with the concept of believing in God or anything like that, understand that it is whatever you call it. And even for me, I've always considered myself to have a very strong belief in God. And it has fluctuated over the years in trying to refine what does that mean, because religion did not satisfy that for me. What I found in the churches that I have attended is not what I have come to know as my higher self or infinite intelligence, divine source, divine spirit, whatever it is. So the biggest concept as to why these concepts work is the belief in a higher self, the belief in a higher power, understanding that there is a design for life. When I'm telling you that your mindset, your imagination, this is your creative mind, this is your divine intelligence, this is your source energy, your God source, whatever, that is your imagination. In fact, there's even theories that, and this is from Florence Scovel Shinn, that explains it as there's your conscious mind and your superconscious mind. Your superconscious mind would be your creative source where it all comes from. And that the superconscious mind is what is giving you the desires. It is what's placing the desires in your heart. And truthfully, the Bible is not, from a religious standpoint, is my perspective, but if you were to treat the Bible as a guide for life in the sense of what it's talking about, ask and you shall receive, what is hidden in the dark will be made light, all it requires is the faith of a mustard seed in order to move mountains, that is talking about you turning inward, going to your mind, you imagining what would be heaven on earth. And again, not heaven is in the sense that when we pass away, we cross over the golden bridge and we are now in a new realm. It's talking about Heaven is a blanket statement for paradise, your fantasy life, your most ideal situation. It's whatever is your heaven. What would be heaven to you? You create this ideal within yourself, and there's a version of you who is there, and that version of you who is there in your heaven, notice the qualities of your being. That would mean if you're living your ideal life, you have everything that you could have ever asked for, you are whole, complete, peace, calm, bliss, abundance. You would have everything. You would be everything. And with this premise that we are source energy. That source will manifest whatever it is that we believe. You can trust that that source is perfection. It absolutely is perfection. We make choices every single day if we are going to lean into the fear or we're going to have faith. We're going to seek the kingdom of heaven first and then go about our lives. Inside the kingdom of heaven, do you think that there's bad things that happen there? No. Do you think that there's fear or limits or anything's impossible to the creator of the world, to the creator of humankind? No. No. However, we were made powerful in the image of Source. We were made perfect in the image of Source. We were given a gift to come here and experience life on earth, given all of our senses. The only thing that was required was faith. Faith in the unseen and not fear. Faith and fear are the exact same thing. Fear is believing in that which you cannot see. Faith is requiring the same thing. So make a conscious decision that you will not give in to your fears. You will not allow yourself to not know yourself. Who are you? You are perfection because you and your source, you and God, you and infinite intelligence, you and universal power are one. If you do not believe this, please explain to me, how is it that you can think something and it shows up out there? How is it that you can think something and get a call from your friend and go and start, they're now talking about that? Is that coincidence? You could call it that if you want. You could call it that if you want. But while you're calling it a coincidence, you are giving away your power. You are not allowing yourself to even fathom the idea that you did that. You did that. So, again, I've said this before. In the off chance that this is true. In the off chance that this is true, what do you have to lose? Your insecurity, your doubts, your fears, your limited lifestyle? Literally, you only have the worst qualities in yourself to lose. So if you can imagine that you are that powerful, you could just play with that. What kinds of things would you create? Would you continue to create the same old crap that you've been creating? Or would you try to intentionally create the best life that you could ever imagine? You'd be the best person that you could ever imagine. Like, that is the difference of idly sitting by and allowing life to happen to you versus actively engaging with your world and allowing life to flow through you. That's what I got for you today. I know you're having a fantastic day and this message served you well. Keep shining that light because the world needs it. Take care.